Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
All right, it is time for Danny Bonaduce, life coach, with special guest Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones. Call right now, 1-800-252-1025, or you can send your emails to lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's start with Nathan in Whidbey Island. Good morning, Nathan.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going very well. You have a question for me or Rick Jones or both?
For both, I guess.
All right, shoot.
All right, man. Well, let's see. I just got out of an inpatient facility about 3 or 4 months ago.
What were you doing?
What was my drug of choice?
Yeah.
You mean? Heroin.
Okay. Although I never
And, found
that to be a choice after a while. If you're strong on heroin, it's no longer a choice. But I get what you mean. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so, yeah, I had an issue with heroin for a while. And me and my wife, she put up with me going to inpatient for a while. And finally, I went to my last one, and she came home. I came home from the day before I came home. She started talking to me about her relapsing. She said she only had smoked meth once, and then I get home and I found out she had some black dude in my house, he's a cool guy, I thought,
If he's doing meth with your wife, he's not a cool guy. I don't know what your parameters are for cool guy, but if you're doing rails of meth with my wife, you're no longer welcome in my house, but that's just me.
No, you're absolutely right. I was going to beat his ass, but I don't want to go to prison anymore.
No, you don't. So. You don't. So, ask me a question. I think we got the setup for an awesome question. What is your question?
I'm no longer living in the house with my wife. We have kids involved, and I'm trying to figure out what would be the best situation for me to set up for my divorce and what I would expect from that.
All right, I believe that's Rick Jones's neighborhood. What do you got, man?
Well, it's a little bit open-ended in terms of how do I set myself up. But what I will say is there's probably a whole lot of parallels to what you're going through in your own personal recovery,
right?
Which is literally, the cliches that matter, the one day at a time and put one foot in front of the other. So the reality is if you need to be out of the situation, both physically, like you already did by leaving the house, but also legally, then take that next step. Go and talk to an attorney. Find out what's involved with filing your case there in Island County.
But in a no-fault state, and you told me that, in a no-fault state, does the fact that she's using meth in the house with kids involved somewhere in this story, does he have a better chance of getting custody of his children, or it doesn't matter? He gets half, she gets half.
Sure. Well, he's in the ball game, though, now. Understand, he's also just out of rehab,
right,
too.
That's true,
so there's a story to be told on the other side. But absolutely, the no fault that I talk about a lot, Danny, really only applies to financial issues. So, in other words, he doesn't get a better financial deal because she's doing drugs.
Okay.
But when it comes to children, absolutely, the courts are going to be paramountly concerned about what the best interests of the kids are.
All right, and the answer to that is go get a lawyer right now. And I'm going to say that, too, because the worst thing for your sobriety, Nathan, is to be living anywhere near an active drug user. You need to go. And thank you very much for the call, and call your lawyer. All right.
This is Life Coach with special guest Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones, 1-800-DIVORCE. The next caller is Betsy in Poulsbo.
Hiya, Betsy.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, what's up?
I recently was engaged in January, and...
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We kind of want to get the ball rolling and, be married by the end of the year. However, I have some debt, and my question to you is, I need to file bankruptcy. Should I do this before we get married? Will my debt prior to marriage affect him and his credit?
Credit is something that you carry with you. So, your credit, or in this case, your bad credit, is yours. If bankruptcy is inevitable, though, for you, then definitely you just want to get that out of the way now.
So that you would recommend, go ahead and do that before you get married to this guy?
That's right. Now, when it comes to other things, though, for example, if the two of you want to get married and then buy a house, if your credit is so bad it's a negative, then the situation you're in is that they're not going to want your name on that loan whatsoever.
And can you do that? I didn't know you could do that.
Absolutely. You sign what's called a quitclaim, basically saying, hey, I have nothing to do with this, because they would rather loan it to him with good credit than to him and her if her credit takes a hit for him.
This is one of those Rick Jones things. Like many, I thought the opposite would be true.
Yeah.
I thought if you go to buy a house with somebody with terrible credit, let's say my wife has better credit than I do, but let's say we just bought a new house. If she had terrible credit, she could just sign, I have nothing to do with this house.
That's right.
And I can buy it. Oh, neat. Rick Jones every time, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. As you've heard, it is Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones, 1-800-DIVORCE, in with the life coach today. And Kim, calling from Kent, is the next caller.
Hey, Kim.
Hi, how are you? This is a message for Rick. My husband and I have been separated for the last year and a half. I moved out of the home, and so we separated everything 50-50 at that time. But my question is, both my kids are over 18. Should I just go to like a paralegal, or should I go through a divorce lawyer? The only thing that we have combined together is our IRS and our cars.
Your IRS meaning tax debt, or your IRA meaning retirement
That's
money?
what I thought.
Our IRS, we owe this year for our...
Okay.
Got it. Well, certainly you have far fewer volatile issues, so you may be able to get away with all the way up the ladder, which is trying to do it yourself without paying anybody other than a filing fee to the court. The next step up is to hiring a paralegal. There's actually some great online options as well. Try Washington Divorce Online.
Okay.
And then lastly, the good news is this: for an uncontested case, that means there's not a whole lot of legal work. So even hiring an attorney is not what you often hear about in terms of it being a very expensive venture.
So, but she's met, because I was going to do that, and everybody said, you're out of your mind, don't do this. But Kim has met the requirement. Like, they've been separated a long time. They've split their assets to what they think is a equitable share. Their kids, I'm looking at my screen, over 18. So for that, you'd recommend a paralegal or even an online thing?
Absolutely, because there's not a whole lot to screw up here.
Yeah, it sounds like. But remember, at the end of these things, best friends can turn mean. So just keep your eye on the ball and sign on the dotted line before anybody starts to get mad that you're dating again or whatever.
Bill in Issaquah, you are on with Danny Bonaduce and Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones.
Hey, Bill.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I guess I had a question more or less for, I guess, either one of you guys. But
Shoot.
The wife, we're getting divorced, and she's asking for naturally child support as well as maintenance. And I guess my question is, what is a standard for percentage of maintenance? I just want to get some sort of an idea. So
What you're
I
in
know
for?
what my liability is there, yes.
Yeah, I wish it was going to be as easy as giving you a percentage. It's one of the more complex issues that we deal with. Let me ask you a couple questions just to hone in a little bit better. How long have you been married?
15 years.
Okay. And is there a pretty significant difference of income between the two of you?
Yes, there is.
Okay. You know, without getting into the math, because I don't want to be asking your income here on the air, but at the same time, what the courts are looking at on the very high end of things, they're looking at taking, once child support is paid, looking at your income, looking at her income, and then splitting the difference, finding out what it would take to equalize the income between the two of you. Now, that's that's sort of the worst case scenario. Below that, it's really about taking a look at her need and your ability to pay. That's the test that the court's going to apply.
So then look at that, because I have always thought it's just half. Everybody splits half, and that's what everybody gets. They can build up, like, she has a certain amount of requirements to take care of the kids, to put gas in her car to get to work, to take care of her kids. And they can, do a calculator on what she's going to need to maintain a lifestyle, and that's what it will be?
And it's not even to maintain a lifestyle, because frankly, when two people get divorced, you're usually going to take a lifestyle hit on both sides of the equation. Right.
I take that hit every few years just for fun.
But yeah, you nailed the process right there.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, and thank you for the call.
We've got time for more calls on Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. It's 800-252-1025. Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones, 1-800-DIVORCE, helping out with your divorce questions. Thomas, calling from Port Townsend, is the next caller.
Hey, Thomas.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, this is Thomas in Port Townsend. It's really a trip to be consulting with Danny Bonaduce, but I got a weird situation going on here.
Who do you know besides you, Thomas, that has more situations that are weird than me? You're calling the right guy, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I kind of grew up with you on TV when I was a kid, and
Well,
few years older than me, but yeah, I remember you on TV. And anyway, I'm a Portland transplant living up here in Port Townsend. I came up here for a job, and I've never been married. And I have a girlfriend in Portland who is pretty much expecting me to make a heavy choice. And I'm finding that I really like it a lot better up here on the Olympic Peninsula. The bottom line is I'm a real wuss when it comes to cutting it off. And I'm finding that I even have maybe someone who's a little more interesting to me up here.
Thomas, do me a favor. What exactly, use the hard words that make you nervous about saying it. Are you planning to cheat on somebody? Are you going to tell a lie to somebody? Give me what you got so Rick Jones and I can hear it.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of being a cheater.
There you go.
Yeah, and I'm not cool with that. But the distance factor and other circumstances are clouding my judgment.
All right, there you go. I got it now. So what's your question?
My question is, how would you go about making making a clean break in a situation like this? With preserving your whatever honor.
Well, if you really care about such things deeply, if you're to be believed, you're not cheating yet. I cast a suspicious eye on that. Are you already cheating?
Almost. I mean, everything.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Everything but sex. What are you, a teenager? We didn't go all the way. We just did that, Dad. So here's the deal. It says here, and Rick, if you have anything to add on this, just jump right in. But it says here, and I'm going to take such flack on this, moved for work. My soulmate is in Portland. No, she's not. The girl you like is in Portland. You know, what are the odds that your soulmate isn't in Bangladesh? You know, that she was born under the right moon in the Himalayas. You don't have a soulmate. You have a great girl that you really like and you want to be good to. If you're already doing whatever it is that you're doing, you can't start a relationship. You can't keep a relationship from another girl in another state with that. The least you can do, because you say honor. You threw out the word honor. I'll go with you on that. If you want to be honorable at all, you need to break up with her. But here's what you don't do. Don't tell her about this girl. There's no reason to hurt her feelings. Let's not be that honorable. You know what, honey? I've met somebody else. Why? Why tell her that? Just tell her, you know what? My heart's not in it. I think we better slow down. I need to take a look at myself. It's not you. It's me. It's not me. It's the dog. Whatever you need to say to get out of the relationship without making her feel bad, because she didn't do anything wrong. If somebody did, you did. Why tell her? And make a clean break. That's what you need to do to start again. But I will tell you this, a relation that starts in any kind of infidelity, you're always going to have a weird, suspicious eye looking at the new girl. That's my belief. Hey, from you over there, Jones?
No, you got it.
I'm out of my mind. I'm ranting and raving. There's no soulmates. What are you, crazy? She'd be in the Himalayas. What am I even saying? But I'm standing by it. Thanks, Thomas. And hang in, buddy.
We've got time for one more call. It's Dale in Bremerton.
Hey, Dale.
Yeah.
Hey.
This is for Rick. My daughter has got a boyfriend who was in the Navy a few years ago, and on a drunken splurge, he went and got married to a gypsy. And
wow, man, that guy parties better than I do. What'd you do? I woke up with a new tattoo. What'd you do? Married a gypsy? Wow.
Yeah, but anyways, now my daughter is pregnant by him, and we're trying to figure out what we got to do to get him divorced so that they can get married. And he hasn't had contact with her for like the last 3 years, I believe it was. He tried to get hold of her, and
where is this woman? Where is the woman that he married?
I think she's in Italy.
Okay, this is convoluted and crazy, but here's what I get, and tell me if I'm right. You want Rick Jones to tell you how he can divorce the alleged Italian gypsy so he can marry your daughter?
Yeah.
All right, Rick, take it.
Well, the first step is that he does need to find her. And
he does?
He does. He may have tried some steps himself, but the reality is the electronic world, the digital world that we live in, he's very likely to be able to find her and get her actually served.
Even gypsies are on Facebook.
Right. Now, he may need somebody's help to do that. That being said, let's say that this is one of the rare examples where you can't find her.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Then there's a process. As long as you're in a place with valid jurisdiction, then you can do what's called a service by publication.
Right. You mentioned that once.
Exactly, or a service by mail. And, it's designed to give somebody notice. It's a little bit of a ruse, frankly, but you do need to take these steps he needs to take these steps to try and reasonably locate her.
Now, what do you feel about the word annul? What if they're thinking, well, can I annul her?
Well, annulment is actually more of a kind of a religious right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In Washington, it's called a declaration of invalidity of a marriage.
Right.
And to be able to do that, you have to cite a few things. Usually it involves any lack of cohabitation, sometimes lack of marital relations.
Right.
Things like that. Or frankly, fraud in the inducement.
Oh, fraud. I never would have thought about that one. But so here's the thing. I want to just get this right for Dale. He's not up a creek. He can divorce her with trying to track her down.
Yeah, one way or another. There's nobody's interest that's benefited or furthered by keeping this guy married, right?
Right. I kind of like the fraud. I don't know exactly what the fraud is, but didn't that movie star say that country singer frauded her into marrying her?
Yeah, but that's alleged because he likes the opposite sex.
Yeah, she likes the opposite sex, and she juggles. You don't know. She's in Italy. They're up to no good over there. All right, so hang in there, Dale. It can be done, and it actually doesn't sound that difficult, but you have to put in your due diligence, like listening to Rick Jones. That's all the time that we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Once again, as always, thank you to Rick Jones. You're fascinating. Rick Jones sponsors our little show. That's what he does right there. It's brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.